This is not your normal carb upgrade video because we're going to start out first with the why we're upgrading this carb. The why we're upgrading this carb is because if we have our regular RPM line here, and we have a protractor that represents our idle jet, and we have a protractor that represents our main jet, we've got 3,600 RPMs, we've got a certain amount of airflow that is coming in that our protractor lines up to. This is our stock jet size. Now, when we add a high flow exhaust and we add a high flow air intake, all of a sudden our air is up in here. As we can see, our idle jet no longer crosses over. So therefore, we need to increase our idle jet size to increase the protractor size to fit there. We then need to increase this main jet in order to hit where on the RPM bandwidth we want this to overlay. So if we're going to be sitting in, like, say, the 4,000 RPM bandwidth, we're going to want a jet that hits here. But if we're going to be sitting in the 5,000 plus, we're going to want a jet that overlays into that and hits this line. Now, the thing is, if we make a jet that hits this line in a stock carburetor, we're going to be well over the line at 3,000 RPMs, which is why it'll run very rich when it's attempting to be at 3,600. It'll run perfect at the upper RPM that you're dialing in for. This is the reason why, as you upgrade, you end up with a dead zone right in here, you end up with a fat zone right in here, and you end up with a perfection at your high-speed RPM that you're going to be running around the track at. In the aspect of why would I want a 3-jet carburetor, if we grab this and we overlay it here, and we imagine this to be a bigger protractor, and we bring that up, and we imagine this to be a bigger protractor covering all of this, this is essentially what happens in a triple jet carburetor. Instead of a giant low right here in your RPM bandwidth, you end up with a tiny low, a little bit of a high, a tiny low, a little bit of a high, and as you can see, a less rich situation going on here while you hit your upper RPM. Now, let's actually do what? Well, let's actually upgrade the carburetor, now that we know the why. Let's get to the part of the video most of you are here for. This is my spare carburetor. I've already taken the liberty of dropping the bowl off so that you can see right here is where the main jet goes in. Now, over here, we've gone to NR Racing at nrracing.com. We've ordered up 2 sizes. The 95 should work for a basic flowing exhaust and things like that. But where mine has been opened up with a bigger exhaust and a high flow air filter, I ordered up the 98 in order to try that. We've also ordered up a pilot jet replacement, which is this. This is 1 size bigger than stock. So you can do all of this on the machine. I'm just showing you with this spare in the vise so that you can see it easier. Down in there, you're going to see where the jet is. You need a screwdriver that fits right down in, and you want to get it clicked in nice and tight before you try to turn it. It is brass, and you can easily round it off if you're kind of one-sided with it. So a screwdriver that fits as tight as possible to the outside edges, but without scoring the thread, is best. Now, if we flip this over, and we got it backwards, here we go, we'll flip it this way. The next thing you're going to need to do is remove the idle screw, which is this right here. I recommend counting the number of turns so that you can be able to put it back in and be close to where you started with your idle, and then bring it down to where you want your idle to be. From there, this is your idle jet. You're going to grab a set of cutters, pinch the cutters in like this, and then pry like that in order to be able to pop it out. Then you just simply press it in, put your idle screw back in, and you're good to go. As promised in all my jet upgrade videos, these are the drill bit sizes that it corresponds to in the kit that I will have linked below. I will note that most likely in order to get this jet size, you'll probably have to use this drill bit, and to get this jet size, you'll probably have to use this drill bit. The stock, if you're cleaning it out, is the blue one in the center. Free generator engine, 95 main jet, 0.02 idle jet. Take one. Screw the idle in a little. Okay, so we might be flooding it, so let's try opening the choke. So as you can hear, we've got some lean out when it comes down. We're going to up it to the 98 jet, but I'm betting the 95 is going to be where we should be at. Round 2, number 98 jet, 0.02 idle jet, no choke. Let's see if it'll kick. Much happier idle. Remember that chart that we started with and we talked about moving the coverage? Now at about 3,000 RPMs, 4,000 RPMs, we've just got way too much gas. So We're going to put back in the 95, double check it, but I think that's what the solution's going to be. Back to a 95.02 idle. Let's see if it's happy again. There we go. That concludes everything that we're going to do to this before we start trying to flip it into being a vertical shaft engine. The next video is going to be talking about what we need to do and what the problems are going to be with the idea of flipping this engine and manipulating it in order to show you what those problems are going to be. That way we can discuss what we got to do in order to fix all of them. Have fun, and thank you for supporting this project.